What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of That Business Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Callum Hayward. How are you today, Callum?
I'm good, mate. It's sunny outside, nice Saturday, so yeah, I'm doing well. How about you, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm excited to do this podcast about TikTok and the different aspects of TikTok and how businesses and anyone in general can really utilize it. So, in the previous two episodes, we looked at 10 tips for productivity, and in the second episode, we looked at tips for motivation.
Yes.
So in today's podcast, sorry, we're going to be going over how we kind of feel about TikTok and the whole platform in general. And Callum, if you can start us off with that.
So really, how I feel about TikTok, I think that's definitely an excellent opportunity. You're missing a trick, really, if you're not on TikTok. It's a great opportunity, as I said, to really expand your brand. It's always great to have a different medium to put your content out on. It's not too long to make content for either, and also that it has huge organic growth. Really, it's only similarly matched by LinkedIn. So to be able to reach that many people, which you'll literally see people put one TikTok on, the next thing you know, they've got 1 million views. It's that easy. And obviously expect slower growth, but it's an opportunity that can't be missed. And the thing is, as the platform goes as well, that organic growth will slow. So it's really a trend you have to hop on now.
Mhm.
Yeah. What about you, Anthony?
So yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's more about the organic growth, and when new social media platforms do come out, that's the one way they entice people to come on the platform. And I think it is important to look at that aspect of organic growth. If you look at, say, Instagram and Facebook at the moment, they both started out with amazing organic growth, and then they slowly moved into the paid advertising, and organic growth is obviously decreased now. However, TikTok is at that early stage where you can still utilize and kind of leverage that organic growth to either grow your personal brand, business, anything really. And that's why it's really important to kind of get on it early, utilize what they're giving you before they start moving to that paid advertising.
Yeah, it's definitely a cheaper opportunity. It was also obviously there's still a lot of users on TikTok, but it's less crowded than somewhere such as Instagram, Facebook. So it is a lot easier to get noticed, definitely. So
Mhm.
there's no reason why you shouldn't launch yourself on there. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard. So mentioning that point really quickly, I think TikTok has reached 1 billion active daily users now, and I think that's in the top three.
Yeah, I think
But
it's
yeah, for Instagram, I think it goes so either YouTube. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure YouTube is one of the top
literally
ones.
Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah, no, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So yeah, TikTok's actually close to the top. They've grown really quick.
Yeah.
It's off that rebranding because they used to be called Musically, and then they've changed
Yeah.
to TikTok
Well,
now,
they
and
got
then
taken over by a Chinese company, didn't they? And then
yeah. So they've changed up the branding of everything, and they've got people on the platform because of that organic growth. And people obviously they want to build their businesses, they want to build their personal brands, and
yeah.
that's what pushed everything out really.
And also you're getting so many more people like kind of getting the content into them, viewing,
Mhm.
consuming the content is the words I was looking for there. I don't know why they slipped my mind. But you get a lot more people consuming the content was a quarantine. So as we talked about before, a lot more people have free time.
Mhm.
So and also an easy escape for people for maybe the madness of the world at the moment would be TikTok.
Mhm.
So that's why the active users are up as well. So you should really definitely take advantage of it during the quarantine or the following quarantine period. And
Mhm.
I do reckon the usage will fall slightly, but also a big boost for the users, as we just talked about, as I'm in a Chinese company. So they've got a very active user base across Asia, which especially obviously something like Instagram doesn't have that kind of reach in somewhere like China. They've obviously got like WeChat, QQ, all the ones owned by Tencent, that kind of
Mhm.
aspect of things. So yeah, the fact that TikTok is able to go into that marketplace and get you into that marketplace is going to be huge.
Yeah, so quickly mentioning on that point, Callum, what you said, I think it's really important to notice that because what
Mm.
TikTok have done is so smart. They've been able to brand the whole app and social media in China, grown audience there, and they've pushed it out more into the Western society like America, UK, Europe, all of that now. And other platforms like, say, Instagram, YouTube, they don't really have that huge
They
growth and
try to
kind
do
of
it the other way
market in
around.
China and Asia, whereas
It's,
TikTok do.
it's quite hard as well for especially a company that pumps out media to get kind of recognition actually be allowed in China. You know, YouTube's obviously banned over there, that kind of aspect of things. So I'm not sure about Facebook and Instagram whether they're banned, to be honest. I could quickly check. But
Mhm.
I just, so it is, as you said, just huge. Just get yourself out there. I mean, you're talking about 1 billion people in China. I mean, don't get
Mhm.
me wrong, a lot of them aren't going to be on TikTok, but still, a lot of the younger generation are. So it also gives a lot of longevity to your brand. Was the main user base is what, 18 to 25-year-olds?
Is that for TikTok?
Yeah,
No, it's a bit younger than that.
maybe
It's
younger. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's like it's the younger bracket or demographic. However, in the future, it's going to slightly increase because, like we just said, Instagram doesn't have that worldwide like territory, whereas TikTok, they've started off in Asia and they've kind of grown in the Western society now,
yeah,
and they're going to grow like around the whole world, which is like that's why TikTok is going to be such a big thing.
mm, yeah, definitely agree.
Mhm.
Okay,
So
sorry,
quickly
go on.
moving on to the next bit now.
Yeah.
So how do you think TikTok is gonna like affect businesses? How can businesses really utilize TikTok?
So yeah, I think TikTok is going to be huge for influencer marketing in the future. I think that's, well, as soon as I saw it, I just thought that really how people can grow. Was it the organic reach? You can literally get your brand out from TikTokers, I believe they are called that, from not just a few people or their following to actually like you maybe get an Instagram to actually their range of following. And obviously Instagram, you still get a massive eclectic range of following, and Instagram and Facebook is both still fantastic. But TikTok just gives you a different medium to push yourself out on potentially different age groups. So I really feel that it's just a great way. Also, they're going to bring in stories soon, I believe, or that's surely the next step for them as they brought in the live, and they seem to be mirroring a lot of what Instagram are doing.
Mhm.
So on that aspect of thing, I think that's going to be another good chance for influencer marketing and probably a little cheaper than them doing a whole TikTok.
Mhm.
And then on
Yeah.
the other point, also obviously bringing you are starting to get advertising. Every time I go onto TikTok, it starts with an advert. So you can really push your content out that way. And the other thing I'd say as well is create content on TikTok around your brand. Let's say you're whatever you want to be. Let's say you sell tires. Then maybe do some content about cars and how your tires work with them to grow your following. If you're a tennis player, do videos of you practicing tennis, or maybe your match highlights or something like that. Just whatever you do, play your new song on there, grow your sales, and like whatever you want to do. I really feel that as long as you document it on TikTok, then that's a good way. It was literally you could do 10 videos and it could do now or nothing, I should say. Then you could do one and it could blow up, and that could massively boost your sales or your clout, whatever kind. If you're maybe the tennis player, but you see more agents. So you know, I think it's just huge. How do
Mhm.
you feel about it, Anthony?
Okay, so my views on TikTok is that businesses they can't post regular content like they would on Instagram or Facebook. So you can't just take your content that you have on Facebook or Instagram and just stick it on TikTok. It's not going to perform as good because it's not suited to the app. So TikTok, you're going to have to add like a kind of funny humor element to your videos. So like you're saying with the tire business. So if your company is selling tires, I wouldn't recommend trying to sell your products directly on TikTok. I would
Yeah,
say switching up the content, giving a bit of humor, I don't know, maybe doing a skit, a prank, and just getting your brand out there. Unlike with Instagram and Facebook, where you can directly sell your product to your audience
yeah,
and obviously grow that way, with TikTok, it's more about the brand awareness aspect where you're able to push your brand name out there and just be in the minds of people. And yeah, that's what's really important when it comes to business and TikTok. It's about changing up the content and kind of specializing it for the app.
yeah. Bang on. I definitely agree with that. And you mentioned about obviously creating content for Instagram and Facebook, and you can't really do the same for TikTok. I'd also say it's a lot easier to bring posts from TikTok onto Instagram than the other way around.
Mhm.
That's definitely something I kick off with. And yeah, definitely don't have to do it directly. We're doing the tires, but just using that as an example for some reason. You don't go on about it might not be the best opportunity to go on about the quality of the tread.
Mhm.
It might be a lot better to talk about like maybe do have like most of your posts about cars and then just some about the tires. and how they improve the cars or stuff like that. So you do obviously have to do a bit of selling on there. It's the whole as Gary Vaynerchuk talks about jab, jab, right hook, and that providing the value to people and them enjoying the car content as you're talking about. And then you can try and take the right hook, which is you selling on maybe you trying to sell the tires on one of your posts. But also accept that when you are trying to directly sell your product, it is likely to perform worse most of the time. I'd say definitely in that kind of circumstance. But if you are, as I mentioned before, let's say a sports star or a singer, definitely sampling your stuff or like highlights of you playing, I think will perform quite well. Yeah,
Yeah, so for personal brands, it would be a lot easier to sell because there's
yeah,
obviously more human behind the brand. It's a human feel to the brand, and you're going to be able to grow that way and then sell to your fans because they're going to be loyal. However, for a business, if you're not necessarily showing a face, I would recommend putting a face behind the brand. It just gives it
I
more
always do. Yeah,
human, yeah, more human, trustworthy aspect to the whole business and brand. But if you're not, then selling directly to them is going to be difficult. So that's why it's about building that brand awareness and getting your following up.
yeah. It's also about also being conscious about how your business can perform on that. As let's say you do, I don't know, biometrics or like you provide a software to protect desktops or something like that, or VPN. It might VPN will probably perform all right, but a lot of those technology, so a lot of technology companies, like if you're doing like a SaaS sort of thing, it will be slightly harder, I imagine, to sell on there if you're selling a B2B sort of level. So first off, you should definitely qualify that TikTok's 100% a B2C platform. Whereas on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you can really, Twitter, maybe to a point, you can really enhance B2B. TikTok is going to have to be a B2C sort of situation. I'd definitely
Mhm.
interject with that there. Second off, but as I said, yeah, if you're selling, it really does depend what you're selling as well. As if you're selling like a high level SaaS product that's just software as a service, if anyone is unsure, or then you really need to be able to think about marketing it properly. And I think once you grow it, you should be able to really understand your audience, the content you need. So don't worry if your first few TikToks don't land.
Mhm. Yeah, so talking about how you mentioned, sorry, about other social media platforms, our next topic is how do you think TikTok is going to affect them social media platforms?
So the way to be honest, I think it's going to affect other social medias. It's definitely Instagram's going to take a hit on usage. I don't think it will affect users. So obviously people work across multiple platforms, but usage wise, I think that especially as TikTok will obviously now have the live feature. Soon they're going to be, well, we definitely think they're going to be putting in stories. So I think on that way, Instagram's going to take a hit, especially with the Instagram Explore page. Obviously, on Facebook, you can do the scroll through like you can do on TikTok. So TikTok is sort of mirrored off that. So I think that, but I don't know about some. Obviously, some aren't. Like something like LinkedIn is going to not really be affected. But I do think Instagram can also be boosted. Which is another way of making content for Instagram. If
Mhm.
you post it on TikTok, then Instagram. So I think that should be fine. Facebook will take a bit of a hit, but it's a similar thing that you can do post sharing, post like platform sharing.
Mhm.
So, what do you really feel about that?
I'll be honest, I kind of disagree with your point. I don't think that TikTok is going to affect any social media. So why I think this is because TikTok, it provides such a different type of content. Like the content you post on TikTok is going to be so different from Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So TikTok's obviously short, little, quick, funny videos, whereas Instagram I feel has some sort of like prestigious to it, where it's like
Yeah, I see where you're coming.
kind of build their whole brands off of that, and they post like really good quality content.
Yeah,
Whereas
but this
TikTok is like small, quick, little
there is a
funny
lot.
videos.
There is a lot of crossover though. You will see a lot of TikToks being reposted on Instagram. They'll
Yeah,
also,
and in my opinion, that just gives Instagram more like it gives people more
yeah,
content to post on Instagram.
yeah.
Like
That was my own point. Yeah,
yeah, and also for YouTube, I like again that's just longer form videos. I
I
don't
don't
think
think
that'll
about
be
YouTube that
affected.
much.
LinkedIn is a lot for business. Again, I don't think it'll be
No.
affected much. Facebook, I'll be honest, as the years go on, the younger generation and not using Facebook as much as the older generation. And as the older generation do get older, they're going to start using it less. So I do feel that Facebook, like the usage of Facebook is going to go down, but I don't think that's directly linked to TikTok.
No, I think that's many years in the future anyway. I think you're talking a decade's time.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but yeah, I definitely agree with that one. What about Snapchat? I think I don't think it'll have no effect either. Snapchat's
So
more
Snapchat,
personal, I feel.
that's kind of a difficult one because that's more of like a messaging service rather than
Yeah,
like a social media.
I'm
I mean,
thinking
it's
more.
social media, however, it's just like it's got a different twist.
Yeah, I was
It's
thinking more of the stories aspect
Mhm,
on Snapchat. Obviously, you can follow people, like follow celebrities in their Snapchats, that sort of thing.
mhm,
But yeah, again, so my point is, I think what me and Anna really getting into here, and the whole point we're going through this is we really do want to drill into you that you should be posting across loads of different platforms. Was really you should be utilizing every social media that you can, and don't get me wrong, some aren't going to be applicable to your business. Like I'm sure there's some people listening here. We talked about it. If you're doing B2B, TikTok's probably not the best thing for you. But this goes for anyone who's trying to build a brand as well, like your personal brand, whatever that is. As we said, singing, sport, whether you like to make Lego, like whatever you do, I think it's very applicable here. I also think it's a good way. There's a lot of content you can take on TikTok as well now. That's growing. That's going to help. Similar thing to what we're trying to do with you, help improve your mindset and your growth as well. So there's the fact that that's on there. I think is definitely shows that it's another way and actually quicker way a lot of the time than Instagram of actually taking on that information, which is often good.
mhm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I definitely feel that way.
Yeah, so quickly, last point about how it affects other social medias. Another quick point is you can actually grow a whole brand. I've seen a lot of people do this, a whole brand on TikTok and then transfer the followers onto Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook. And I
Yeah.
think if you go about it the right way, I think you can have a lot of success with that. So yeah, so moving on to the next topic, how can you grow on TikTok? Callum, do you have any tips for our listeners?
How to grow your following? I mean, the key number one: be consistent. Post consistently.
Mm,
Because trust me, you also get even if you post consistently for a week and get a bit of a following. If you suddenly don't post for another week, that's going to drop off, and your progress is going to be pretty much pointless. So yeah, you have to be consistent with it. That's how you grow. Be creative is another one. You see a lot of people copying what other people do. And it does get a bit jarring after a bit, to be honest. So especially if you're trying to get your brand to stand out, then it's really best to be creative in there and not be a sheep in the sort of sense to,
mm,
let's say, just putting on a filter or dancing to a song.
mm,
I mean, actually, this is going to change certain points. Actually, I'm going to cross check myself in a second. But yeah, on your general content, you need to be creative, as that's how you'll stand out an individual. But the reason I'm saying I'm actually going to cross check myself as well is it would be smart every so often to jump on trends as well, as that will boost the number of people who see you. Effectively, it's boosting your SEO, as it will just boost the number of people who see your TikToks, and that's obviously will help you grow your following. Obviously, bigger potential follower base is always a good thing. So I really think that, yeah, and then also post and cross share onto other platforms, and try and get you advise your other platforms, such as your followers on Instagram, to try and follow me on TikTok. And do you have
mm.
any ways of growing?
Yeah, so you said a few points there, a few tips I was going to give. I'll just kind of build on them. So the consistent uploads, I've heard that it's best if you upload around 3 to 4 times a day because you don't know what's going to go viral. And I've seen a lot of people and different content pieces out there where they've tested this and they've seen like crazy numbers. I'm talking like in a week, you can grow to 300K followers
Yeah,
just by posting a few times a day. And again, it's because you really don't know what can go viral. And the more content you push out, the higher chance that one of your videos is going to explode. Another tip would be to stay in one kind of niche of content. I've seen that TikTok, they kind of prioritize and favoritize creators that stay in one particular niche. For example, if you create videos around football, maybe if you consistently create like good quality, valuable content that makes people laugh on football, then TikTok is going to push out your whole account, and your account quality is just going to be a lot better, rather than if you do one post of football, one post of, I don't know, reviewing a product, I don't know, one post of making a prank, one post of making a skit. It's just a bit all over the place, and your account quality and rating is just going to go down.
Yeah, my last point as well on that would be obviously, and you just talked about there, obviously people can grow to 200, 300K in a week, but that
Mm,
is, I'd argue, extreme cases. Well, not necessarily extreme cases, but my point is, it's like anything in business, anything with growing your brand, you are going to have to exercise some patience. Like if you have 100 followers at the end of the first week, like don't worry, you never know. It might take you a month to get a good following. It could take you a few months, but it's just really about putting in the work and your ROI on time to get the end advantages, which we
mm,
feel with TikTok, especially as it grows. I was like quite a few people. I wasn't quite sure about TikTok at the start. I'd say Ant was a lot surer on it than me. On about a year back. So yeah, and the fact that it has done all this can really show you, think about where it's going to be in a year's time. So if you start posting now, then you could be in quite a prominent position then. So just be
mm.
patient with it is the point though.
Yeah, yeah. Another point. So when I was saying you can grow to 300K in a week, that isn't like, that's an extreme case.
Mm.
So at least do it for 1 month and consistently upload quality content and learn from your mistakes. And after a month, if you don't see any results, I don't know, maybe lay off it a bit, change it up a bit. But
Yeah, really
definitely for
consider
1 month, just
growth.
stay
Mm.
patient and keep going, and then you will grow.
Yeah, agreed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so any last points on TikTok? I don't know if you want to give any views
Well, my
or
views on
about
TikTok.
the future of
As I,
TikTok.
as I said, I think it's fantastic just as the organic growth.
Mhm.
Just really get on that while you can, sort of thing. But I think we really have covered most things people are gonna want to know about TikTok. What I would say, if anyone wants to know any other questions, when we start getting our questions in, we've only just put out the first podcast as we're recording the third one, but we will start doing a little segment at the start of the show where we will answer listener questions.
Mhm.
So yeah, if you have any questions about TikTok that we haven't covered, please do write in, and we'll try and get them answered for you.
Yeah, so thank you, Callum, for helping me host this podcast about TikTok. It was
No,
enjoyable to make. And to the listeners and viewers, if you do have any, I don't know, questions, concerns, topics that you want us to cover, do leave them down in the comments or somewhere where you can comment, and we will try to answer every single one as bestly as possible. And yeah, so if you did enjoy, hit the like button, subscribe, or follow our podcast on
depending on
YouTube,
the platform, yeah.
channel, Spotify, etc. And yeah, so thank you for listening, and peace.
One last thing I'd